In March 1988, town in northern Iraq fell silent within hours. There were no bombs falling from the sky, no advancing armies, no visible battle. Instead, a cloud moved through the streets. When it passed, thousands were dead. The attack shocked the world and gave one man a name that would follow him for the rest of his life. Chemical Ali. This is the story of Ali Hassan al-Majid, a man whose rise to power reflected the inner workings of Saddam Hussein's regime, and how war, loyalty, and absolute authority turned political decisions into human catastrophe. In the late 20th century, few figures became as closely associated with state violence as Ali Hassan al-Majid. To supporters, he was a loyal enforcer of Saddam Hussein's rule. To his victims, he became known by another name, Chemical Ali. The nickname emerged during the Iran-Iraq War and the campaigns that followed, when chemical weapons were used against civilian populations in northern Iraq. Over time, his name became linked to one of the most controversial and brutal episodes in modern Middle Eastern history. This documentary examines who Ali Hassan al-Majid was, how he rose to power, and how political authority, war, and ideology combined to produce one of the most feared figures in Saddam Hussein's inner circle. To understand Ali Hassan al-Majid's rise, it is necessary to understand Iraq itself during the mid-20th century. Iraq in the 1950s and 1960s was a country undergoing rapid political change. Monarchies fell. Military coups reshaped leadership. Competing ideologies struggled for control, including Arab nationalism, socialism, and Ba'athist ideology. The Ba'ath Party promoted Arab unity, centralized authority, and strong state control. It also depended heavily on loyalty networks built through family, tribe, and personal trust. Within this system, loyalty often mattered more than experience. Ali Hassan al-Majid was born in 1941 in the town of Tikrit, the same region that produced Saddam Hussein. The two men were related through extended tribal and family connections. This relationship would shape Majid's future. Unlike many political figures, Majid did not rise through education or military distinction. His early career included relatively modest positions, including work as a motorcycle courier and later roles within the security apparatus. What distinguished him was not ideology or charisma, but loyalty. In Saddam Hussein's system, loyalty was the most valuable currency. When Saddam Hussein formally became president in 1979, he moved quickly to consolidate power. Real and perceived opponents within the Ba'ath Party were removed through arrests, executions, and purges. During this period, individuals from Saddam's inner circle gained influence. Ali Hassan al-Majid became one of the regime's trusted enforcers. His responsibilities increasingly involved internal security, intelligence operations, and suppression of dissent. The role required absolute obedience and a willingness to carry out harsh policies without hesitation. Majid proved willing to do both. When the Iran-Iraq War began in 1980, it quickly became one of the longest and most destructive conflicts in modern Middle Eastern history. Both countries suffered enormous casualties, and the war gradually turned into a war of attrition. Northern Iraq became strategically critical during this period. The region was mountainous and difficult to control, and Kurdish armed groups operated there while seeking autonomy from Baghdad. Some Kurdish factions cooperated with Iranian forces, hoping the war might weaken central authority. To Saddam Hussein's government, this cooperation was viewed not simply as rebellion, but as treason during wartime. The Iraqi leadership increasingly framed the conflict in existential terms. Security concerns expanded beyond armed fighters and began to include entire rural populations suspected of offering support or shelter to insurgents. Hassan al-Majid was appointed to oversee security and military operations in northern Iraq. His authority combined military command with political control, allowing him to implement policies with little oversight. The war environment allowed extreme measures to be justified as necessary for national survival. During the later years of the Iran-Iraq War, Iraqi forces used chemical weapons in several operations. Historical investigations and later court proceedings identified the primary agents as mustard gas and nerve agents, such as sarin and tabun. Mustard gas causes severe chemical burns to the skin, eyes and lungs, often leading to long-term injury or death through respiratory failure. Nerve agents attack the nervous system, disrupting breathing and muscle control. These weapons were used not only against Iranian forces but also in areas populated by civilians, most notably in the Kurdish town of Halabja. In March 1988, the attack resulted in thousands of civilian deaths within a short period of time and became one of the most widely documented chemical attacks against a civilian population in modern history. Recordings and documents later presented during Iraqi High Tribunal proceedings indicated that Hassan al-Majid had authority over operations in the region at the time. His recorded statements and administrative orders contributed to the nickname that would define his legacy. The use of chemical weapons marked a turning point in international perception of the Iraqi regime, although meaningful international action remained limited during the war itself. Between 1987 and 1988, Iraqi forces carried out a series of military operations collectively known as the Anfal Campaign. The stated objective was to eliminate insurgent support networks. In practice, the campaign targeted entire rural populations suspected of aiding Kurdish fighters. Villages were destroyed, large numbers of civilians were displaced, many were detained or disappeared. Recordings and documents later associated with Majid suggested approval and coordination of these actions, contributing to his nickname, Chemical Ali. While reports of chemical attacks circulated, international responses remained limited. The Iran-Iraq War overshadowed many humanitarian concerns.
Today was day one of the long-awaited ceasefire in the Persian Gulf.
Strategic interests often took priority over accountability. Only later did broader international attention focus on the scale of the Anfal Campaign and its consequences. Following the war, Hassan al-Majid continued to hold influential positions within Iraq's leadership. He served as governor and security official in multiple regions, maintaining a reputation for harsh enforcement. After Iraq's invasion of Kuwait in 1990 and the subsequent Gulf War, the country faced international sanctions and internal unrest. Uprisings in Kurdish and Shiite regions were suppressed with force. Majid again played a role in security operations. The state increasingly relied on coercion as economic conditions deteriorated. In 2003, the United States-led invasion of Iraq ended Saddam Hussein's government. Members of the former leadership were captured or killed in the years that followed. Hassan al-Majid was arrested and later tried by the Iraqi High Tribunal. The trials focused largely on the Anfal Campaign and the use of chemical weapons against civilians. During the trials, evidence included documents, witness testimony, and recorded statements attributed to Majid. Prosecutors argued that his actions constituted genocide and crimes against humanity. He was convicted and sentenced to death. Hassan al-Majid was executed in 2010. The legacy of Chemical Ali remains deeply controversial. For many Kurdish survivors, his name represents trauma and loss. Hassan al-Majid did not become powerful through public support or military fame. He rose through trust and obedience within a system that rewarded both. His story is not only about one individual. It reflects how state structures, conflict, and fear can shape human decisions. Understanding this history does not change what happened, but it explains how it became possible. If you found this content compelling, don't forget to like, boost the video, and subscribe. Until the next story, goodbye.